I'm wondering how best to help this couple. The female partner found out that her husband was secretly texting a former girlfriend. She's devastated that this happened, and she asked him when he sees her struggling to reach in and help her. Even when he does share his experience, he is almost expressionless. His emotion isn't present. He says his wife's pain reaches him, but his expression remains neutral.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to start with the end.
Do that.
His expressionless. So any love relationship, the absence of an emotional signal is a threat, is the death to a love relationship. And so his expressionlessness feels problematic to me. What happens on the inside of him? His partner's expressions are reaching him, but then it doesn't move him. It doesn't change him. It doesn't touch him. And that tells me that he's a little too far from his own emotionality still. And so that is the work EFT does with so many of our clients, is to help them befriend their inner worlds, to bring our clients closer to their inner worlds, their emotion, their intrapsychic inner world, their affective experience, because that is what we need to help them distill and share in order to strengthen, repair, or grow a love bond with their person. I'm glad to know his person's emotional expression is reaching him. I wonder what that means on the inside of him. What is the sensation that comes alive on the inside of him when he takes in his partner's experience?
You would get very, very specific.
Granular is Lisa Feldman Barrett's word. Yeah.
So what sensations? Oh, it reaches you. What happens on the inside? Because
where does it go? It reaches him, and then what? And that's not an uncommon question that we need to ask, especially our clients who cope by shutting down and having emotional avoidance. It reaches him, but maybe he doesn't let it in. It reaches him and it's overwhelming. So then he shuts it out. It reaches him, but then he feels helpless. And so he goes to his head. That's the intrapsychic mechanism that we want to encourage all of us to be working right there in that spot where it reaches him. And then what?
And then if the wife has actually progressed, like she's actually had traction in terms of being able to express her emotions and feel her emotions, and the husband hasn't. And so when there's this discrepancy, do you just stick with the husband until he catches up?
Yeah, it's always a judgment call, and it's always a bit of a both and. We don't want to leave the wife hanging and not getting our time and attention. There's a certain point where one partner is building or has more emotional flexibility and emotional range than their partner.
Yeah.
And the limiting factor is the lack of emotional range in one partner. And that's where we have to go to that partner and say, I don't want to double down on you. And yet I feel I need to spend a little bit of extra time, because emotion is much more of a foreign language to your nervous system than it is to your partner's nervous system. And so I want to help build some emotional range and flexibility over this next session or two.
Yeah. So you have to build this emotional flexibility, emotional range before the repair from the flirtatious text can really happen.
Yeah, because we're asking the wife to reach, or the wife is reaching and she's reaching him. But if he doesn't know what happens or where it goes on the inside, there's no real ability for him to reach back, which is the essence of repair. He has to come first. We have to help him really befriend his inner world and get to know this part of himself that he's coped by avoiding. Fair enough. He's entitled to that. But now we're in a need to repair. And that intrapsychic data is the only way to get a true repair. Saying sorry is something, but he actually has to be affectively moved by her sharing of pain for her to get that she's reached him emotionally, affectively, intrapsychically.
He has to be affectively moved in order to reach her.
Yeah. And when he's not, that's when we go, oh, slow down, turbo. Let me pay attention, because we can't keep asking her to reach. She's going to feel like she's being vulnerable and reaching, and it's falling into the Grand Canyon because he's not obviously moved. And so we have to help him build the muscle memory to let his emotion come back to his facial expression, come into his throat, come behind his eyes, come back to his gut, his limbs. We have to refamiliarize himself with his own emotion, which we know all people have cradle to grave. They've just gotten too far away from it and they forgot that they have it.
Right. For more hot tips on emotionally focused therapy, go to theeftcafe.com and sign up for our newsletter, where you will receive short little clips like the one you just watched.